Have you ever walked into a room and your heart just starts beating faster and you feel a little bit nervous? You feel like maybe you're like kind of unsafe or something like that. Uh, I've been in that situation, and that's something I want to talk about with you guys. And I think a lot of it relates to how we just feel very like intrinsically unsafe in a certain environment, and it's not at all uncommon. I think it happens to most people, especially when you go into uncertain scenarios or situations that remind you of something in the past where you were like in an unsafe environment, whether it's emotionally, physically, socially, what have you. And I sometimes get disoriented when that happens. I like start to kind of beat myself up, right? I'm like, why am I thinking slower? Why do I have brain fog? Why do I feel anxious? And then like I kind of disengage socially, I get in my head, and that's like the worst thing to do, right? Because I've always found like it's like talking to lawyers in your head. You're gonna lose that argument because they're extremely well trained, right? And I can we can talk later on more about the biology behind why your brain is actually trying to keep you safe. So it doesn't want you to be in that moment. It wants you to like think your way out of like a dangerous situation. But the core of the matter is a lot of it resides in feelings in our body, right? It's just like I don't know about where it is for you guys, but for me, like my gut tenses up, right? Some people like their back starts to like flare up, right? Or some people like start to get headaches. And there's this movement called sophrology. It's called embodiment, right? Really being in touch with your body and recognizing where do I start to feel tightness, and then actively trying to like loosen up that area or breathe through that tightness. And that causes relaxation in the body, which then tells your mind, oh, I am safe. And then it's like a virtuous cycle goes back and forth, right? If your mind thinks your body is safe, then it tends to relax and you stop overthinking things and you start to be more calmed down and more easygoing, right? And I don't know if you guys have heard of this. It's called the gut brain axis, right? There's a lot of research nowadays about, what happens in your gut affects the way you feel and the way you think, right? That's why some people who have like inflammation in their stomach, they start to get brain fog and they start to have low energy. It's all interrelated, right? And the whole point of this is to say that when you go in these situations, it's not uncommon for you to feel unsafe due to something that happened in the past or what have you. But the key is not to start to disengage from that moment and start to like overthink it. It's really to stay grounded in the moment, recognize what's happening in your body, and practice positive techniques like breathing or like loosening of those muscles to try to let that feeling pass. Because biologically, emotions only stay in your system for about 7 seconds, and that's all you gotta do. That's the time it takes to get to the light at the end of the tunnel.